Did you know there's a place in Texas where the schools are elite, the neighborhoods look almost too polished, and the airport is just minutes away? That place is on this list, but it's not the only Texas city that makes a strong case for being the best. Some places here offer college town energy. Some offer riverfront living. Some give you big city access without the big city chaos. So in this video, we're counting down the 10 best places to live in Texas in 2026. And make sure you stick around for number 1, because this is the place that takes Texas suburban living to its highest level. Number 10, College Station. Yes, College Station is best known as the home of Texas A&M, but it's not on this list just because it's a college town. It's here because the university gives the city something a lot of places struggle with: a strong identity. And that identity has real weight behind it. College Station ranked number 25 on Livability's 2026 list of the best places to live in the US, which is a strong signal that this is not just a fun college town, but a genuinely livable city. This is a city where student life keeps the place energetic, and the economy has a steady backbone through education, research, healthcare, and local business. For families, it has a slower, more manageable pace than the major metros. And it also makes a lot of sense for people who want community without feeling lost inside a giant city. It is not the flashiest place on this list, but that's part of the appeal. It feels grounded. It has enough going on to stay interesting, but not so much that daily life becomes exhausting. The catch is that Texas A&M culture is everywhere. If you love that, great. If you don't, the city may feel a little too centered around the university. But as a stable, livable, energetic Texas city, College Station earns its spot. And from a college town identity, we move to a place where people often visit for the weekend, then start wondering what it would be like to stay. Number 9, New Braunfels. New Braunfels is one of the most charming places in Texas because it knows exactly what it is. This is not the city you choose for skyscrapers or corporate offices. You choose it for lifestyle. You have the Comal and Guadalupe rivers, historic streets, German heritage, local restaurants, and that hill country atmosphere that makes regular life feel a little more relaxed. Its location is also a major advantage. Sitting between Austin and San Antonio, New Braunfels gives residents access to 2 major cities without forcing them to live directly inside either one. That's why it's become so attractive to families, retirees, remote workers, and people who want Texas living with more personality. It feels scenic, social, and fun without being overwhelming. And the appeal is clearly showing up in the numbers. According to census estimates, New Braunfels grew by nearly 29% between 2020 and 2025, which explains why it feels exciting, but also why traffic and housing pressure are now part of the story. Still, if you want a place where every day feels slow and serene, New Braunfels deserves to be on this list. Number 8, Cinco Ranch. Cinco Ranch is not trying to be cool or edgy. It's not trying to be the next Austin. It's trying to make suburban life work really well. Located in the Katy area near Houston, Cinco Ranch is the kind of place families move to when they want good schools, clean neighborhoods, parks, trails, shopping, and a daily routine that feels easier. And the key word here is planned. This is a master planned community, so its appeal is the convenience. You get organized neighborhoods, green spaces, pools, walking trails, and access to the larger Houston economy. For some people, that may sound too polished, but for families balancing school runs, work, sports practice, groceries, and weekend plans, polished can start to look a lot like peace. Cinco Ranch may not be ideal if you want nightlife, city energy, or a more quirky personality. But for family-focused living, it's one of the strongest communities in Texas. Now, if Cinco Ranch is about controlled suburban comfort, number 7 is about getting close to one of America's hottest job markets without fully getting swallowed by it. Number 7, Round Rock. Round Rock might be one of the smartest places to live in Texas. If you live here, you get access to Austin's opportunities, but with a more practical daily life. It is close enough to Austin to benefit from the job market, especially in tech and business, but it still has its own neighborhoods, schools, parks, shopping, and family appeal. Dell's presence helped shape Round Rock's reputation as more than just a place people sleep while working somewhere else. It has real economic strength, and over time, it's become one of the best options for people who want opportunity without the full Austin price tag or chaos. Of course, Round Rock is not exactly a secret anymore. The growth is real. Traffic can be frustrating, and affordability is not what it used to be. But compared with living directly in Austin, Round Rock still gives many people a better balance. It's not the flashiest city on this list, but for jobs, families, schools, and everyday convenience, it's one of the most practical choices in the state. And speaking of places that are no longer secrets, number 6 may be the clearest example of a Texas suburb becoming a full-blown brand. Number 6, Frisco. Frisco is not just a suburb anymore. It is a statement. Over the last few decades, Frisco has become one of the clearest symbols of modern North Texas growth. New neighborhoods, great schools, sports facilities, corporate development, and master-planned communities all come together here. This is the place for people who want their suburb to feel ambitious. You have access to the Dallas job market, family-friendly neighborhoods, strong public schools, and major entertainment anchors like The Star, which is connected to the Dallas Cowboys. The PGA of America also moved its headquarters to Frisco, which only adds to the city's growing reputation. Frisco feels new, planned, and energetic. For families with kids, professionals building careers, and people who want modern amenities close to home, it checks a lot of boxes. The problem is that Frisco has become expensive. Traffic has grown, and for some people it may feel a little too shiny and growth-obsessed. Still, if we're talking about schools, jobs, amenities, and quality of life, Frisco absolutely belongs near the top. But number 5 offers something Frisco cannot quite copy: a suburban life that feels much closer to nature. Number 5, the Woodlands. The Woodlands is one of the best designed communities in Texas, but what makes it special is how green it feels. The Woodlands was built around trees, trails, lakes, and parks. I mean, it has more than 150 parks and around 220 miles of hike and bike trails. There's also shopping, restaurants, offices, and neighborhoods that connect in a way that make daily life feel calmer than you would expect near Houston. You can live in a quiet wooded neighborhood, go for a walk on a trail, meet friends near the water, catch a concert, or head into a business district without feeling like you have left the community entirely. That is why the Woodlands has such strong appeal for families and professionals. It gives you access to the Houston area, but it doesn't feel like you're just living in Houston's shadow. It has its own identity. The trade-off is cost, and depending on where you work, the commute can still be a real issue. But for people who want suburban comfort, strong amenities, and a more nature-focused layout, the Woodlands is one of the best places to live in Texas. Number 4, Sugarland. Sugarland may look like another polished Houston suburb at first, but its real strength is that it feels self-sufficient. This is not just a place where people sleep and drive into Houston for everything else. Sugarland has its own restaurants, shopping, business hubs, medical facilities, parks, and one of the best town center setups in the area, the Sugarland Town Square. What makes it stand out even more is how international it feels. The food scene and culture mix give the city more personality than a typical quiet suburb. That is why Sugarland works so well for families and professionals. You get strong schools, comfortable neighborhoods, and Houston access. But you also get a city that feels diverse, settled, and complete on its own. The downside is that Sugarland is not cheap. But for people who want a well-planned, diverse, and high-quality place to build a life, Sugarland is one of the best choices in Texas. And number 3 takes that same complete city feeling and adds one of the strongest corporate economies in the state. Number 3, Plano. Plano is what happens when a suburb stops feeling like a suburb and starts functioning like a proper city. Its biggest advantage is not just good schools or nice neighborhoods. It is convenience at a very high level. You have major corporate campuses, strong job access, fancy shopping districts, parks, restaurants, and quick access to the Dallas-Fort Worth economy, all without living directly inside Dallas. Plano also has one of the best food scenes of any Texas suburb. It is practical but not empty, developed but not chaotic. And for families or professionals who want career opportunities without giving up comfort, Plano's one of the top choices in the state. The drawback is cost of living. Plano is no longer the affordable Dallas suburb it may have been years ago, and some areas can feel more businesslike than charming. But for overall balance, job access, and everyday convenience, Plano absolutely deserves a top 3 spot. And number 2 takes many of those North Texas advantages, but makes the lifestyle quieter, greener, and more residential. Number 2, Flower Mound. Flower Mound is one of the best places to live in Texas because it gives you North Texas access without its intensity. It is close to DFW Airport, close to Grapevine Lake, and close enough to Dallas and Fort Worth for jobs and amenities. But the actual lifestyle feels calmer, greener, and more residential than places like Frisco or Plano. Flower Mound is built around open space, trails, good schools, lake access, and neighborhoods that feel designed for people who want to stay long-term. For families who want premium suburban living with more breathing room, Flower Mound is one of the best choices in Texas. The catch is the price. This is not an affordability pick. The place is expensive. But if the goal is quality of life, Flower Mound absolutely deserves the number 2 spot. And that brings us to number 1, the place that takes premium Texas suburban living and pushes it into another level. Number 1, South Lake. South Lake is not the cheapest place to live in Texas. Honestly, it is not even close. But this list is not about the cheapest places, it's about the best places to live. And if we're talking about pure quality of life, South Lake has one of the strongest cases in the entire state. This is the luxury standard for Texas suburban living. South Lake has elite schools, beautiful neighborhoods, high-end homes, strong safety perception, and one of the best locations in North Texas. You're about 15 minutes from DFW Airport, with access to both Dallas and Fort Worth. South Lake Town Square is a big part of its identity. It gives the city a central gathering place with shopping, dining, events, and a walkable charm that many suburbs try to create but don't always pull off. The obvious drawback is cost. For many people, South Lake is more aspirational than realistic. But if the question is, where would you live in Texas if quality of life mattered more than anything? South Lake is very hard to beat. So that is the list. Of course, the best place depends on what you value most. But if we're talking about overall quality of life in Texas in 2026, these 10 places deserve the spotlight. And if you think Texas has some fascinating places, wait until you see the next video. Because we're going from one of America's most livable states to one of the most mysterious and unreachable places on Earth, North Sentinel Island.